Dr. Caitlin Todd appears ready to leave Emmerdale after a tense confrontation, but there are fears she could still destroy Jacob Gallagher and Sarah Sugden's lives before making her exit. The ruthless surgeon previously helped Charity Dingle deliver her baby after Charity agreed to become a surrogate for her granddaughter Sarah. However, viewers later discovered the child was not biologically Sarah and Jacob's at all. After a secret one-night stand with Ross Barton, Charity became pregnant with his baby, but chose to hide the truth from both Sarah and Jacob. Dr. Todd uncovered the secret when she realized baby Leyla's blood group did not match Jacob's. She quickly used the information to her advantage by blackmailing Charity into persuading Jacob to drop the HR complaint against her. But Caitlin's scheme did not stop there. Following the death of her father, Caitlin inherited the family home and later told Vanessa Woodfield she needed money to renovate the property. Because she had taken early retirement, she explained she no longer had enough cash to cover the costs herself. After spotting Charity at the pub, Caitlin suddenly came up with another plan. She demanded £10,000 from Charity and threatened to expose her dirty little secret if she refused to pay. Unable to raise the full amount in time, Charity could only hand over half the money during today's episode. Running out of options, she instead warned Caitlin to leave the village immediately or face serious consequences. Back at Tuggill, Caitlin appeared to take the threat seriously and later informed Vanessa that she intended to leave Emmerdale the following day. She also suggested it would be best for them to end their relationship. However, upcoming spoilers have already confirmed Caitlin is not leaving just yet. Her ongoing blackmail demands will soon push Charity into considering selling her shares of the Woolpack in order to keep the dangerous secret hidden. Actress Emma Atkins recently teased how suspicious Kim Tate becomes when Charity suddenly offers to sell her stake in the pub. Emma explained that Charity desperately tries to hide the real reason behind her decision and refuses to let her guard down, despite Kim repeatedly questioning her motives. According to Emma, Charity pretends she simply wants less responsibility in her life, while secretly panicking over Caitlin's threats. Although Charity acts calm on the surface, Emma revealed she is actually furious underneath and willing to do absolutely anything to stop the truth about baby Leyla from being exposed. Emmerdale villain Dr. Caitlin Todd has begun another twisted blackmail scheme, and many fans are now convinced it could eventually end in her death. Over the last few months, ITV audiences have watched Caitlin change from a strict hospital consultant into one of the soap's most manipulative and threatening characters. What first looked like tough supervision in the workplace soon became a cruel vendetta against trainee Dr. Jacob Sugden, with Caitlin targeting him both professionally and personally. Although Caitlin recently quit her medical position and claimed she was taking early retirement, she now blames Jacob for destroying her respected career. At the same time, she is hiding a dangerous secret involving Charity Dingle and Ross Barton, who are actually the biological parents of baby Leyla, rather than Jacob and Sarah Sugden. During Wednesday's return to the village, Caitlin continued bonding with her new housemate Vanessa Woodfield, much to Charity's annoyance, and the pair eventually shared a kiss. Caitlin later warned Charity that her entire life could collapse if the truth about the baby became public knowledge. She then demanded money in exchange for staying silent. Charity fought back by reminding her that the evidence proving Leyla's real parentage had been obtained illegally through stolen confidential medical records. Despite this, Caitlin admitted she no longer cared about the consequences and hinted that a payment of several £1,000s would be enough to keep her quiet. Later in the pub, Charity firmly rejected the blackmail demand, insisting villagers would likely support her once they learned how badly Caitlin had been treating Jacob. Charity later confronted Caitlin again at her home and reluctantly agreed to pay £1,000 to protect the secret. However, Caitlin increased her demands after revealing Vanessa had shared details about Charity's troubled past as a mother. She then demanded an enormous £10,000 by the following day, calling it compensation, for the damage Jacob supposedly caused to her career. After Caitlin's latest threat, many Emmerdale viewers are now predicting that Charity could end up killing her to stop Leyla's true parentage from being exposed. Caitlin Dingle finally returned home in Thursday's episode of Emmerdale after undergoing cancer surgery, but life already feels very different for him. In the previous episode, Kane struggled emotionally as he started coming to terms with the physical impact of his operation. He was shocked after learning he would need to wear a catheter for at least 2 weeks, possibly even longer, and hated the thought of having to carry it around. Feeling embarrassed and frustrated, Kane admitted to Caleb Milligan that he regretted going through with the surgery because he couldn't cope with the side effects. After Caleb left the hospital room, Kane attempted to get out of bed and walk on his own, but quickly became irritated when such a simple task proved difficult. A doctor informed Kane that he would only be allowed to return home once he successfully completed a walk along the hospital corridor. However, Kane pretended his pain was worse than it really was in order to avoid being discharged, leading to him spending another night away from his family. In tonight's episode, Caleb wasted little time informing Moira Dingle about Kane's struggles. Believing someone closer to his experience might reach him emotionally, Moira turned to Sarah Sugden for help. Sarah spoke honestly with Kane and reminded him how badly cancer had affected her confidence during her own battle, especially after losing her hair. She encouraged her grandfather to stop feeling sorry for himself and face his recovery head-on. Her words eventually had an impact, and later Moira arrived at the hospital to discover Kane had finally managed to complete the important walk through the corridor. Moira then brought Kane back home, where Kyle and Isaac were overjoyed to see their father again. While Moira hoped this marked the beginning of a brighter future after such a painful year, Kane remained deeply anxious about adjusting to life following the operation. Next week, Liam Kavanagh visits Kane and advises him to put his pride aside during his recovery once the catheter is removed. However, Kane quickly dismisses Liam's advice, making it clear that his confidence issues are far from over. http://appsoaps A712935HU/3 suspects Aaron Robert fire mystery. The mystery surrounding the Emmerdale fire attacks deepens next week as 3 unexpected suspects emerge in the ongoing arson storyline involving Aaron Dingle and Robert Sugden. As more suspicious blazes strike the farm, Robert becomes increasingly determined to uncover who is targeting the Sugden family before the situation turns even more dangerous. According to soap insiders, the fires are happening with alarming frequency, leaving both Robert and Aaron convinced somebody in the village is deliberately attacking them. While trying to investigate, they begin noticing several residents behaving suspiciously. After a second blaze erupts dangerously close to a feed store, Aaron and Robert are left questioning who could be responsible. Although Robert has made plenty of enemies over the years, he has changed a lot recently, but it seems someone may still want revenge against him. Elsewhere, tensions rise at the garage when Cammy arrives late for work, looking exhausted and disorganized. Aaron quickly loses patience and demands he start taking his responsibilities seriously. However, Cammy's unusual behavior raises questions about whether something else is going on behind the scenes. Emmerdale airs weeknights at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is available to stream on ITVX.